guys, how you doing? Today we are going to review the remake of The Magnificent Seven, which is also a remake of The Seventh Samurai. So technically it's a remake of a remake. I got no problem with that at all. And in this movie, Peter Skarsgård plays the main villain of the movie, and then with his whole army of men goes in and invades this town, and sets up a bargain for them saying that if you don't give me what is mine by the time I'm back, you're all gonna die. Not if the Magnificent Seven can do anything about it. So what happens in that movie is that the main actress from Hardcore Henry, she sees Denzel Washington and then tells him about the situation going down in the countryside. And so Denzel Washington, accompanied by Chris Pratt, has set up a group of 7 individuals known as the Magnificent Seven. And so it's up to the Magnificent Seven to take down the bad guy and to save the town. For me, to be honest, I thought this was gonna be bloated garbage. Because, you know, we haven't gotten a lot of good remakes since then. But in all, I find The Magnificent Seven to be one of the most enjoyable films to see all year. Magnificent Seven is one of the most coolest, most entertaining remakes you can see this year. While it does have some glaring omissions I would like to discuss, let's go with the positives. First and foremost, all the actors you see in the movie give really good performances. Denzel Washington plays the really good Clint Eastwood type cowboy, Chris Pratt plays a really comedic gambler, and I really liked Ethan Hawke in this movie. And also, it's really nice to see Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington acting alongside together again. Vincent D'Onofrio is great, other characters in the movie were also good as well. And speaking of characters, comes one of my complaints. One of the biggest complaints I can say about this movie is that most of the characters are really flat. They really don't have any dimension to them other than the fact that they're awesome. They can shoot a broadside of the barn from inside the barn. They can shoot everyone in a single bullet. But even though most of the characters are flat, you're still having fun with the actors pulling off their really good performances. Oh, and I forgot to mention this, Peter Skarsgård I thought was fine as the villain, even though most of his character is a complete cartoon. Another positive I would like to say is that there are good amounts of humor. There's really funny quippy jokes and one-liners and quips. It's just one of those elements in there that really makes this a really good crowd pleaser. And speaking of crowd pleasing, the action scenes are freaking excellent. There's one shootout fight scene in the middle that's actually really cool, but what was a more superior fight scene was in the last act of the movie. And the cinematography is also good as well. From the shots of the Magnificent Seven riding off into the distance to an entire shot of Peter Skarsgård's henchmen cowboys. It looks really, really enticing to watch. And I think the cinematographer did a really good job in this film. Unfortunately, I do have some complaints here and there. Other than really flat characters and a really cartoonish villain, this movie does throw a lot of cliches. Like one of the characters has a Han Solo moment, and mostly it has like some of the cliches that you would see in a superhero movie, which is funny because when you watch the movie it actually feels like a superhero movie except with all the powers. But just because there was a lot of cliches in there doesn't mean this movie is unwatchable. I'd still had a lot of fun with the Magnificent Seven. Even though the characters were flat, there were still good performances, and even though there were a lot of cliches in the movie, there were actually some really good bits of humor and excellent action scenes, and the cinematography is well shot. The remake of the Magnificent Seven gets a 3.5 out of 5. It's not quite magnificent, but it's sure a good movie. I just used that really forced joke, didn't I? Yep, I did. Alright guys, that is my review of The Magnificent Seven. Comment below, let me know what you thought about the movie. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, or private mention me on YouTube if you feel like it. My name is Luke Nukem, and you have been blown away.